you share your expectations for the season just after everything you guys have accomplished where you're at right now? What are your expectations?
For this season,
Yeah.
win the Super Bowl.
You're goddamn right, Brad. You're goddamn right, Brad.
Let me tell you something. All right, the projections of the Detroit Lions in this show, I don't know, watch enough of the other shows to even know. But I feel like we've been the most accurate. We've been, Spinny hit the ball. He's the first one to say it.
Yeah.
Super Bowl. I was like, I don't know, wait a little bit. I heard the little thing from Tom Brady. I'm on board Super Bowl. Another guy who's been fairly accurate with his predictions has been Brad Holmes. There's been times in press conferences where it's like, yeah, I don't want to speak on what we're going to be this year. Next year, we have aspirations to compete for the playoffs. We'll get in there. And now this year, he said it. That's the only word he said, by the way. Only 2 words he said, I should say. Was Super Bowl.
You're hearing it. You're hearing it from everyone. You're hearing it from Aiden Hutchinson. You're hearing it from Penny Sewell, from Dan Campbell, from Brad Holmes,
Amon-Ra.
from Sheila Ford Hamp, from Amon-Ra St. Brown. It is different. When is the last time you've heard a GM of the Detroit Lions go out there and say, our expectations are to win a Super Bowl, not to be better, not to be a good team, not to be competitive, not to make the playoffs, to win the Super Bowl? And that is realistic. That is not fairy tale Kool-Aid land. That is realistic expectations for this team this year. They were 2 wins away from doing it last year. They are vastly improved on the defensive side of the ball. You are expecting jumps from your big players because they were all young guys. So you expect a jump out of Hutch, out of Branch, out of Laporta, out of Gibbs, out of all these guys. They're only going to get better. This team is the Super Bowl favorite in my mind, and that might be aggressive.
Whoa.
But I can't see. I don't care if you're the Chiefs. I don't care if you're the Texans. I don't care who you are. If you said, put your life on the line, one team to win the Super Bowl this year, I'm saying the Detroit Lions.
No, fuck, you're not.
I am. I am.
I
don't hate it.
I am. And I'll do it right now.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it. I don't. No, trust me, I don't hate it. I'm just saying. Come on,
I am.
Relax.
You hate on me every time I say this. You hated on me.
You
You hated on me. I was pandering until Tom Brady said it. I was pandering until Brad Holmes said it. Just accept it, Easy, that I have more faith in this team than you do. Because I believe they're going to win a Super Bowl. I have more faith in them to win the Super Bowl than any other team. I think they're the most complete. You're just a hater and you shit on me every time I say it. And I don't care if that's what you want to do. But this is what I believe. And I believed. I didn't need Tom Brady to tell me that. I didn't need Brad Holmes to tell me that like you did. I believe this team is a Super Bowl contender. I believe this team was a Super Bowl winner. You were the one that didn't believe it until Tom Brady told you.
When you asked me if they're a contender, I said no.
What happened today? What happened earlier this year?
They have a defensive line.
What happened earlier this year?
Defensive line. And then Tom Brady reiterates everything I felt about the offense, but that's just like put the nail in the fucking.
Yeah, you needed Tom Brady to tell you that. I didn't. I believe they were a Super Bowl winner. I believe they're going to win the Super Bowl.
My head, if I put my life on it.
And I am, and you are you, and I can have my own thoughts.
That's fine.
So
I don't believe you, and I can have my own thoughts of not believing you.
Don't believe me. I don't give a shit whether you believe me or not. I think the Detroit Lions are going to win the Super Bowl, and I'm here for it.
Ask him or ask him or fall. He's trying to get him up. You know what I'm saying?
You just hate. That's all you do.
Go ahead.
And it's fucking annoying that you try to do that to me every time.
I don't believe it, so it's fine.
But don't say I'm trying to get my follows up.
It's my thought. I'm allowed to have my thought the same you have yours. Sorry to offend you.
You're just a hater.
Sorry to offend you. There's some tissue in the toilet paper somewhere.
You're just a hater. You're hating on Jared Goff. You're hating on the Detroit Lions. You need other people to tell you.
The Gobblers right now. You're pandering stuff.
You need other people to tell you how to believe. I form my own opinions.
Get out your fucking feelings.
I form my own opinions.
You're a hater. Don't tell me that I don't believe you.
You are a hater. You just say he's trying to get his follows up. You don't believe that.
I have the Lions win the fucking Super Bowl. How am I a hater?
Because Tom Brady told you so.
Yes, what I'm saying. You try to turn some other shit. Get all these fucking dick sucking motherfuckers hating me in the chat because I don't believe you.
Yeah, exactly.
Get out your feelings.
Why don't you believe me?
Because I don't believe you.
Why?
Because you're pandering and trying to get the followers.
So you don't think the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl?
Brother, I believe they're going to win the Super Bowl.
Okay, so why don't you believe me when I say that?
Because I don't believe it. They can try to get followers up. I just said it 15 fucking times.
You know, I've been saying it for months, but he doesn't believe
I'll say
me.
it. I'll just leave it on loop so you can hear it 15 more times. What? Come on.
So you believe the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl? Yes?
This guy's waiting to talk.
You believe the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl?
Yes.
But you don't believe me when I say that.
You didn't say that, man. You said, putting my life on it, gun against my head.
I think they're the favorite. Yes, I think they're the favorite.
Okay. Caleb.
Putting my life on it, gun to my head. The Detroit Lions are winning the Super Bowl.
I believe Caleb, though, he's a little bit of a slappy little bit, you know? Like he rises out of the Tigers. We know how he gets down.
Yeah, but it feels damn good to even hear Brad Holmes say that, because like you said, everything he said, every milestone and goal that he's placed, they've hit. Winning the division, going 500, stuff like that, and now we're ready to take the next step. And it feels weird and it feels awesome to have these Super Bowl expectations, but now we got to put our money where our mouth is and actually get it done.
That's why I love this schedule starting the way it is too.
Yeah,
because the Rams, like their very last game was getting not get the ass whooped. It was a good game, but still get kicked out of the playoffs by us. They have won a Super Bowl in the last 5 years. They have expectations, regardless how that team was built and how many young pieces, whatever there is on there. They had confidence they're going to win that game, and they're close to winning that game too. Mm-hmm. Hungry, pissed off right off the bat. We have to come prepared for their strongest fucking punch. Second game, another team you kicked out the playoffs, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. There is no slack for the Detroit Lions at all. They have to hit the ground running, and I love the fact that they have that. Just Dan Campbell's going to do it by himself, but just having that in the first 2 games, that's going to bring the competitiveness out of them already, or even more so.
Yeah, and they're hungry, and they're still angry from last year from the way things left off, the way they choked in the NFC Championship game, the way they got ass whooped by the Baltimore Ravens. These are things that stick in the mind of these guys. They're competitors. They need this. It is a coaching staff full of former players. It is a team full of hungry guys that want this for the city, for the team, for each other, for the fan base, and these are things that motivate them. These are things that no, I'm just kidding. These are things that motivate them, and it's exciting to see that because you're going up against the guys that you got there against, like you said, the Rams, the team you beat in the playoffs, the Bucs, the team you beat after that. You got to go to Green Bay. You got to do these things. You're playing the Houston Texans. You're going back to Dallas to play the Cowboys. This is a year of righting your wrongs. This is a year of showing the rest of the pundits, like you, Mike Greenberg, you stupid little bitch, that this window is still open so you can suck a dick because the Jets aren't doing shit. The Lions are winning the Super Bowl.
I think, too, what makes it viable is that there's history to this. Every sport, especially one that's been around as long as the NFL, has history, and history will tell you a lot of things. Like, there are not many teams that lose in the Super Bowl and then get back the following year. There's not teams that three-peat. Like, there's certain historic trends that have proven to be accurate, and one of which is what the Lions went through. There's plenty of teams that have climbed and got there. 2 years ago weren't in the playoffs, then make a deep playoff run, not quite to the Super Bowl, but a deep playoff run, get bounced, come back the next year, win a Super Bowl. There are trends that show that this is possible. This isn't just a bunch of people from Detroit excited because they haven't had this chance before. There's actual historic precedence to what the Lions are able to do this year.
And this isn't a flash in the pan team like the Carolina Panthers were with Super Cam and Josh Norman and a couple guys here or there. This isn't the Atlanta Falcons with the amazing Kyle Shanahan who ends up leaving and Matt Ryan performing at an MVP level. This is the most complete team in football. This is the coaching staff has been together and has built these guys for the past 3 years. You've got Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell still there. You are improving your positions that were lackluster last year in the coaching ranks and in the players that play those spots, like the defensive line and the secondary. So you are finding your weaknesses, you are attacking your weaknesses, and you are making them strengths, both coaching-wise and personnel-wise. The Lions team that was so good last year is getting even better, and that should be scary for the rest of the league. I think they're the most complete team in football, and I think they're the Super Bowl favorite.
I think they're the most complete team in football, too. Like, we have this conversation all throughout training camp. Nothing else going on. We have to talk about the roster, what we need to get there. Although we all believe we get there, but we still got to bitch about, hey, what more can we grab?
Fourth receiver.
Yeah, bro, it's all depth situations. There's carryover, as Chris was saying, like, there's historic precedents, too. Like, you have the fact that defense, the run defense, started in the back half of 2022. You guys pay attention. Not a single team went over 100 yards, I think, outside of the Panthers, and then maybe one other team. And by the way,
I think it was just the Panthers.
Saquon Barkley and the boys were in there as well.
Yeah.
Like they were good run teams that they were stopping. What happened? That carried over 2023. That offense took off in the back half of 2022. Mm-hmm. That carried over 2023. All of it's like set and precedent. Like this shit's not no flash in the pan. It's been there. The only thing you question about is maybe the secondary. Maybe. And this to be fair, that's something we all have to see ourselves too. But listen to Amon-Ra St. Brown, the podcast we were telling you about earlier with Mina Kimes. She asked, like, you go against them. Like, what is your takeaway for it?
Yeah.
And he's like, no offense to the guys here previously. I'm not gonna say they didn't challenge us, but like, these guys are challenging us. These guys are making things a little bit harder than they've been in years past, and that's on the offense that we just told you guys has been good for 3 consecutive years running now.
And 2, now a difference is that you're not asking this defense to be elite. Like, obviously you want it to be, and you're going to coach it to its potential, but the offense is so damn good, it's historic. You just need the defense to be relatively good. That's the difference last year. If the defense was relatively good last year in the secondary, then this team, we're having different conversations about this team.
If you had a mediocre secondary last year, you might win the Super Bowl. Like that's flat out what it is. If you have a mediocre secondary last year, you beat the 49ers by 2 touchdowns in the NFC Championship game, and then all bets are off when you face Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, but you're in the dance. You had arguably the worst secondary I've seen in 20 years out of a contender team, and it got you that far. You had Kendall Vildor and Cam Sutton as your starting cornerbacks in the NFC Championship game.
Vildor.
I'm not chilling on Vildor.
Yeah,
Kendall Vildor.
Cam Sutton was the guy.
Kendall Vildor is a good depth piece. He's a good backup.
Yeah.
I don't want him to be my starting quarterback in the NFC Championship game. I don't care. I like him as a 4th corner, but not a starter.
Yeah, Kendall Vildor a cool 6th cornerback. Like, if it gets to, like, Armageddon, and it's like, all right, damn, he got to come in. But it's like the point of you starting your game and the first snaps are happening and Kendall Vildor is in the game, yeah, you lost that game.
I mean, even if you don't have to just send Kirby and Brian Branch as an iffy as like pressure because the defensive line isn't getting through. Like, even just having them back there with a guy like Kendall Vildor would make a difference. But now, of course, we're obviously looking at a much upgraded secondary in theory.
And like I said, I liked what I saw out of
might have helped him
Vildor
last
for
year
a
either.
majority of the time he was in there.
Hater.
But he is not a starting caliber corner in games I want to win. I am much more confident with Terrion Arnold, Carlton Davis, Ennis Rakestraw than I am with Kendall Vildor out there.
I said earlier in the chat, I can't wait for the rest of the city to see Meek Robertson. Like,
Yeah.
I think you guys saw a little bit of it in preseason,
As
but
a
like,
dog.
we haven't talked about him in a while.
Absolute dog. We have, but listen,
He's flying under the radar.
how many
a
more
little bit.
days now?
Yeah.
I don't do the counting thing. That makes me more anxious for it all.
Yeah.
I can't. But
Yeah,
I
no, like, I didn't even know it was college football on tonight. I was watching
State
Joel
tomorrow.
Klatt,
State tomorrow.
and he was talking about Thursday.
Loaded
Thursday night
weekend of
games, and
football.
I'm like, oh damn, next Thursday is gonna be college football. I'm like, oh shit, today is Thursday.
I know. I thought my draft was Tuesday.
Yeah, no,
Look, hey,
Stupid.
Spinny did too.
What?
Your draft
I
was
thought my draft it's next week, Tuesday, apparently.
It's all right, though. That means we are ready.
Yes.
We was ready for that motherfucker.
Yes.